I almost started talking there.
Almost.
Almost. Almost did the opener there, I should say. I'm talking now.
Oh. Twitch is doing the Twitch thing again. So I guess we're going to be YouTube only.
Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 560, recorded on January 1st, 2026. On this week's holiday episode, we call this, it is New Year's Day. So we talk about our holidays, Christmas and New Year's Eve, and between Christmas and New Year's Day, what we've been up to. So Jesse, you know what to do.
What is up, everybody? It's Marty here, and sick. Holiday, sickness, crud, whatever.
You got the crud.
It's not con crud, but it's close to it. It's like when you come home and you're all, just wrung out, as we say here in the South. I just been wrung out, and it's like you get the drainage and the sniffling and the headaches and no fever though. It's been crazy, but this crept in. At least waited till Christmas was over, and then crept in Sunday night, and so I've been dealing with it all week. All the fun. I'm coughing and I can't sleep and all that stuff, and so I dragged myself from my recliner to be here tonight because I missed you guys. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it feels like forever since I've been here. Like, okay, so we had. I think it was was I on the first week of December? No, I wasn't. Then the next week I was gone to Disneyland. That would have been the 11th, I guess. Now I'm back in the time machine,
Yep.
The 11th, and then the 18th I was off. So it's like the whole month of December. I was gone.
And then we were going to be off, and then we did it.
Yeah,
and so then we had the Christmas.
Yeah, you guys held it down really well, Tim. You did the little interim episode there. Appreciate that.
It was fun. It was fun to do that with my daughter.
It might be a good time to just talk about this. How were your holidays, guys?
Jesse, what did you do? You had a lot going on. It seemed like.
The only thing we really had going on was the kids came over. Originally, it was planned for Saturday, but they changed it to Sunday morning. So we kind of did a breakfast. So people, either made stuff when they got here or pre-made stuff and just warmed it up when they got here. So we had a pretty extensive breakfast Sunday morning. And then we did our gift exchange, and then the kids all had to do other things and took off. And the original plan was, maybe play a board game or something, but that didn't happen. But it was, but still, the time that they did spend was good. It was a good time.
How did everybody, your kids, like the gifts that you made them?
Oh, they loved it. Yeah. So I for each of them, I did a 3D printed shut-the-box with small little dice that fit in the box. So the box itself was maybe
I love that game.
4 inches by 2 inches, and I didn't even know the kids knew about the game. What it got to my attention was when we were packing my old house to my stuff to move here. They apparently, the youngest two found a shut the box kit that I have. I don't know when I got it. It might have been at a garage sale, but I think it was like made in the 50s or 60s. Huge, giant wood box, felt lining with big number flips. inside
Hmm.
with big wooden dice. And they said, "Oh, we used to play this all the time when we were little." So I'm like, I didn't know that. So my
We
oldest never heard of the game before, so we had to explain her the rules. But I ended up
we
making
like that game when we're wanting to play a game, but not. We also don't want to like think a lot. We want to have some conversation.
right.
Just sit around and enjoy each other's company. It's great.
Yeah. So they each got their own 3D printed set, and then for the oldest two, I put in a little slip of paper with a $200 Amazon gift code, of which Matthew didn't even notice it, and Madeline ended up tossing it. And when I explained what
Oh
it,
no,
and when I put it in there, she goes, "Oh, well, just fish that out. Don't want to lose that then." So they did get them and claim them. And then the youngest one had all of them were labeled "Open this last" because I wanted all of them to open it at the same time. But the youngest one had an additional gift that says "Don't open it yet." And then in her box was a piece of paper that said, "You can now open the do not open yet package." When she opened it, it was a set of memory sticks for a computer. And then another piece of paper fell out that was on the back of that says, "Open the hobby room door." And in there was a new computer waiting for her that her mom and
nice.
I split the cost for.
Did you get the memory before it shot through the roof?
Yes. Yeah, I made this
Oh,
purchase back in September. So
well, there you go.
the 64 gigs of RAM was like 300 bucks.
Okay.
And when Matthew bought his 64 gigs of RAM, it was priced for his computer. It was priced at $900 and bought it on a Black Friday deal for half off. So still paid
Holy cow.
450 for them. So he still paid
Nice.
50% more than I paid for them.
I you know, look, hopefully that will be resolved very soon. Tim, what about you? What about your holidays?
I was good. Thankfully, was not sick this year like I was last year. I had COVID last
That's
year.
the card I pulled. So
Yeah. But yeah, we got to visit, got to be with family, and it was a lot of quiet time too at home, so that was good. Try to get in a lot of gaming time in, but the wrench got thrown in when my cat disappeared. We were talking about that in pre-show a little bit. But she was gone for a week. We were looking all over for her. I was up at like I was reading all kinds of tips and hints on how to find your cat from people who were posting back to me on a lot of apps where I posted the cat was missing. And one of the things that it said was go out, look for your cat, especially if it's an indoor cat, it'll be nearby. Go out between like the hours of 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning in that time when it's the most quiet, less people out, and do your searching. And there was lots of techniques to do that searching too. So we did that, and I would go out along with either it would be my daughter or my mom came with me one night too, and we went walking around looking. And a week later, we found out the cat was in our neighbor's garage the whole time. So right next door. So, and this whole time we were walking neighborhoods and going all over the place, posting
wow.
flyers and all that. But thankfully, the cat was safe in the garage. We brought her home, and she's acting like nothing happened. The other two cats, though, are really acting weird. They're like smell her. She smells different, so they're like, "You've been outside," and they hiss at her and they act like
Oh boy.
they've never seen her before. They're starting to get over it now too. So, but yeah, that kind of put a wrench in my plans of I wanted to finish a lot of games before we had our top 10 discussions for 2025. And so I'm a little behind in that, but I was able to at least finish some things. And I know we'll talk about that later. So
Cool.
how
We've
was
spent time.
your time
Well,
other than getting the crud?
so I get, normally the week that we were at Disneyland, normally that's Nutcracker week, and that was this year was the daughter's last Nutcracker as a
Mhm.
performing member. She could come back as like a helper or
Yeah.
whatever in the future, but as a
Alumni.
senior. This was her last one, and that was pretty emotional. And that was the weekend of Thanksgiving. Like we had Thanksgiving, and then she had her performances. And then that next week, I was done with school, so I finished my master's officially. Be celebrating that soon. I actually have a diploma cover, but with no diploma, which is
Do we
fun.
have to call you Master Marty now?
You can if you would like. I will grant you that privilege. But
You've
you don't
never
have to.
called me that before.
Look, I will be honest
Master
with you. That
Jesse.
the first thing that I said to my wife was, "Well, you can refer me to as master now," and she was like, "That was literally
Party
yeah,
Sama.
right." Um, anyway,
So maybe it just become Nintendo Master Dads.
yeah, sure. I mean, whatever. Master dads. I like. I may have some negative connotation.
Yeah.
Um, so we flew out on December 8th, went to Disneyland in California. Had a wonderful time. I will state this publicly on the podcast right now that I will never go back to Disney World in my life. I will go to Disneyland every time. It was fantastic. The California Adventure Park, that's literally right across from the entrance to the Magic Kingdom, or yeah, it's pretty much Magic Kingdom. So they don't have Epcot, they don't have Animal Kingdom, they don't have Hollywood Studios there, but California Adventure is the equivalent of Hollywood Studios. So like a lot of rides that are there in Disney World are there.
Okay.
But they also have the additional Avengers campus. So it was really cool to see like Spider-Man was out. We got pictures of Groot and Ant-Man and their Tower of Terrors, um the the Guardians of the Galaxy Breakout, not the Tower of Terror anymore. It was my favorite ride, and I'm
Yes.
afraid of heights. Um, so between that and Radiator Springs Racers, which is they have a whole Cars Land over there too, that's really cool.
Nice.
So we were there in the park for 2 days. We had park hoppers, so we went back and forth, and then we actually drove into LA on the third day, which was interesting. Um, we went down and did the stars, the walk of fame and
Yeah.
Chinese theater, and
That's
drove
where
up
I
into
saw the
Hollywood.
Matrix, by the way.
Really, at the
Yeah.
Chinese theater?
Yep. When
Oh
it
man, that'd
came
be.
out at the same
Do you know how
time.
much? Do you know how much a matinee movie at the Chinese theater cost?
How much?
While we were there, $29 a person.
Oh
Oh my.
boy.
I don't remember it being that expensive, but
$29 for a matinee.
I'll be honest, I probably didn't care because I was seeing a
Yeah,
movie
sure.
in there.
Can I
So at the
ask,
time.
is the inside nicer than the outside? Because I'm gonna be completely and totally honest with you. Hollywood Boulevard is a dump. It's
Well,
just, I
it,
know if you live out there, I'm sorry. If you like that place, I'm sorry. I
it
was
was
completely,
1999 when I went there.
yeah.
So because that's when
So I
Matrix
was
came out.
completely overstimulated. I was completely out of my element. We parked in a place that my father-in-law would not have approved of. But we bought it online. We drove up and saw the Hollywood sign. We did all that. Hollywood Hills. We drove around, saw some houses,
Yeah.
and we finished out our week in and around La Jolla, San Diego, La Mesa. We have a friend who lives down there, and she put us up for a night, and we got to catch up with her. We haven't seen her really in many, many, many years, and so we got to see her world and finished out with brunch with a mentor of mine. It was just really cool. And then we came home for the holidays, and it felt like Christmas was like bam right there. And we kind of do what you do, or what Jesse did. We had a big Christmas morning breakfast. We did not have a Christmas meal at all because
Nice.
one of the traditions in my wife's family that I love, and I think I've talked about this on the show before, is that December 24th, Christmas Eve, is always games and appetizers night. And so play cards, we play board games. Everybody brings a appetizer dish. We had some friends that came by, and we hung out with them. And then we
Cool.
got up the next morning. We did presents.
Yeah.
Santa came, of course, and of course, we didn't do a lot of presents at our house this year because our trip, Santa brought the trip to Disney,
Yeah.
and so we did our presents, had our big Christmas breakfast, and then we kind of just hung out the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I've been off for 2 weeks from the office, so it's been really great. And so New Year's Eve, we kind of did the same thing. We did make time to finish Stranger Things.
Nice.
And so that's part of why I didn't sleep really good last night because we ended the night at like midnight with that going off.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun, and I'm kind of ready for, like normal.
Normal. Back to normal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, back to routine.
You're rejuvenated other than you're cold.
I do feel rejuvenated. I feel like a weight that has been on me for like 3.5 years with doing school is gone, and
Yeah.
so I'm ready to catch up with games. I'm ready to, be able to be a little more present with people in my life, and
Nice.
so yeah. So guys, enough navel gazing about our holidays. Again, this is episode 560 of the Nintendo Dads podcast. We're glad you're joining us. Um, and Justin's not able to be with us this week, which kind of threw a wrench in our plans for our top 10. And we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. But before we do that, let's go to the little smattering of news that we have, shall we?
Oops.
It came in at the end when it mattered. The news is brought to us each and every week by you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where right now you can go and become a part of the greatest community on the internet for just $1 a month, $5 a month, $10 or $30 a month. Those are our tiers. And there's various perks to each one of those, but the greatest of which is an ad-free version of the podcast. We give you your own feed for that, so you don't have to listen to any of our ads. And if you follow us at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and Twitch, we want to say a huge thanks to you because 2025 is one of our best years ever. The guys got to go to PAX. We all got Nintendo Switch 2s and various other things, and that came from you guys supporting the show. And so thank you so much for that. You help make our content, you help make our community a better place. And so thank you again. Head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads or throw us a subscription on Twitch, and we will get you in the Discord and to the ad-free feed and all the other goodies. So, guys, just a couple of news things here. First thing I want to highlight, probably the biggest general Nintendo related thing that we have to talk about is that Doug Bowser has officially retired from Nintendo as of December 31st, 2025. That was his last day in the office. And so at just a little over 6 years, I think, Doug spent a good bit of time there in Nintendo as the president. And so he is gone officially. And today, his successor stepped in. And I'm searching for that name right now.
Devin Pitchard.
Devin Pritchard. And actually, we have kind of a interesting situation with
What?
this.
Isn't there two
And
people
that,
taking his
yes,
roles?
Doug Bowser is retiring or has retired, which means that Devin Pritchard will be the new president. But there will also be a chief executive officer, Satoru Shibata, that is now part of Nintendo of America as well. He will also continue his roles as managing executive officer and corporate director and member of the board at Nintendo Ltd., which is the Japanese arm of Nintendo. He is also holds a position on the board for the Pokemon Company as well. So there's lots of corporate synergy there. Devin is a 19-year veteran of the video game industry and has been a long-standing member of the Nintendo of America leadership team. So uh, we wish Doug the best. He is retiring to hang out with his kids and grandkids and enjoy life. It's well deserved. But we also wish Devin and Satoru-san, or is it Shibata-san? I'm not sure. Uh, uh,
Or his
luck.
last name is the
Yeah,
appropriate way to say it.
yeah, Shibata-san. A good luck as they begin their time there. And may we say, we do expect to see the both of you on the next Nintendo Direct. It's mandatory.
Yes.
Yes. Not everyone, just the first one to say, "Hey, I'm here."
Yeah, then you can hand it off to though I will say this. No, I'm gonna say this. It is mandatory. It is mandatory. I expect skits with Bill Trendon eating donuts and yokai and all kind of puppets. I want puppets. And I want you to have a catchphrase of some kind. Please understand. Direct to you, something like that. I need it. Okay. Let's spice these things up.
Right.
I do think I want to just ask you guys. I've been seeing a lot of people online, or a fair number of people online the last few days, basically saying something like, "Well, Doug Bowser's gone. What did he do?" And I personally don't think that's very fair.
Yeah, he did his job in a private manner, which he just was no longer the face of the company as Reggie
Yeah, I was gonna get your thoughts on
in
it
his
because
tenure.
you've got I kind of feel like it's and please hear me when I say this, that I'm not meaning to be political on one side or the other at all when I say this. But I kind of feel like he kind of got the same deal that George W. Bush got, the younger one, of having to be a president behind or in the aftermath of one of the greatest, most horrible terrorist attacks on our country,
Right.
and having to basically write a playbook for that and be scrutinized about that. Doug had to lead through a pandemic that the world had never seen before.
Yes, I agree.
And so I kind of feel like those are kind of, I'm not saying they're the same thing, but they're in the same lane where there's no playbook for this. There's no, like, you don't go to like the corporate playbook and go, okay, so pandemic, go to page 15. Now, it's not like a Hardy Boys choose your own adventure. So he had a lot of behind the scenes that probably a lot of people don't see or didn't know about.
His job was basically being the head of marketing in the North American branch. Switch did well. I say, given the circumstances, he did his job well.
Yeah.
All we have is the results of his tenure to see what he's done, and he did that. We won't know the minutia, and we don't need to.
You can basically just say Nintendo remained extremely profitable during his tenure. There you go. They did not have many major PR snafus or anything like that. So,
well,
Tim,
I wouldn't go there.
To that?
There's
yeah. Yeah, the only thing I would say is that, and it may not even be, like you said, his type of thing where he's more public. That probably not his MO. He probably just wants to take care of business, and that's what he's there for. Where Reggie was comfortable when put in that position. So will Devin
Reggie was kind of the face during GameCube and Wii U when they needed a face during the Wii U era. But Switch era, they didn't need a face.
Right. I think a lot of people are looking for one, though, and it doesn't have to be from Nintendo of America. It could just be Nintendo in general.
Well,
people are looking for that face.
Switch era had a face. He just came from NTL.
Yeah. And that's why people are gravitating towards the, I forget his name, the guy that usually does it.
Waikumi or something like that.
Koizumi,
yeah.
Yeah, Koizumi.
A lot of people are
the guy who did all the magic tricks at the Switch reveal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gravitating towards him because people are wanting that, and that's what I don't understand. Where Nintendo is trying to fight it off so much.
I think they have an opportunity to lean into something that the other big two, quote unquote, aren't doing when they do that.
Yeah. So okay, it is what it is.
Lots of mute coughing going on.
Huh?
A lot of mute coughing. Because I literally did it 2 seconds before you did.
So Doug, we I don't know if you'll ever hear the podcast. He did like our tweet that we sent him, wishing him well and saying thank you. And so Doug Bowser has left the building. It's just sad that they couldn't find another person who had, a Mario name.
Right.
I mean, they didn't have like a Luigi in some office there, or Peach or Toad. I mean, they're like, there's some guy at Nintendo they call Toad. They just could have made him or her president. Get up here, Toadette. It's your turn. I don't know.
Maybe there's a Nintendo character named Devin. I don't know. We'll have to find out.
Yeah. Fox, Falco, Slippy. I mean, I don't know.
There you go.
Samus. And speaking of Samus, Nintendo said this week that Metroid Prime 4, new to release, by the way, incredible. You should go play it. Is set after Super Metroid and before Fusion. They said, quote, "We wanted to be able to create a free and original setting for Metroid Prime without affecting the 2D Metroid series." And so that's interesting. So it buys into it builds into the whole talk that was, kind of out there before it came out, that this is a new trilogy or it's a new story. It does. It only makes me have more questions about the end.
Yeah.
And so, Tim, hurry up and finish it.
Okay. Well,
so we can talk about it.
I'm confused too, because originally they were saying, at least I thought that's what they were saying, was that this 4 immediately follows Prime.
3.
Oh, no, wait. No, it follows, 3. But there was the Metroid Prime Federation Force. I think it follows that, actually. So, and I don't know where that falls. I thought that fell in between along with the other Prime games.
That you are correct in that, because there is some things that happen with Silex in Federation Force that set up where
all
he
those
is
little Prime
here.
games. Yeah, the three main ones, and Federation Force, and I mean, there's Prime Pinball, but that doesn't count. But anyways,
well, I was going to ask,
Hunters, that was the other one.
Where does Prime Pinball fit in the timeline? That's the hard hitting journalism I want.
Pinball is just like a recap, I think, of the first game. But anyways, it is. Yeah, I was thinking Hunters is the other one, but all those fall between Metroid 1 and Metroid 2. All the Prime games. And so under the impression, I think I was, and many others were under the impression, this was still within that time frame between 1 and 2.
Yeah, I did a Google search, and that says Federation Force is after 3, but before Metroid 2, which is where you thought it would have landed.
Yeah. And so it was like, because we thought it was in that same window, maybe that's why the years, if there's those years that they have, that they start at the beginning of each game, that had kind of thrown people off.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're saying, it's coming after Super Metroid.
So that would mean that if we take the scene in Federation Force where Silex steals the Metroids to the time that we catch up to Prime 4, where we see him in control of Metroids, he's had time to figure some things out.
Yeah, his time. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I kind of get that. I see why they did.
Yeah.
That, and it
gives them more room,
them
I guess,
little more
like they
room.
said. Yeah.
It does give them a little more room to play, but to me, it still causes me to have more questions. But we thought that was important. If you're a Metroid fan, you know that. One other little smattering of news here. 2026, if you didn't know, is not only the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, it is the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. And so what's in store? Well, Pokemon Day is going to be on February 27th, 2026. There will also be McDonald's Happy Meal and Pokemon TCG promotions in early 2026, which means that all Happy Meals across America will be sold out.
Yes.
In about 10 minutes, yeah. Oh, yep. Of course, February 27th is the Friday, so we're not going to be able to talk about it until the next week.
Sure. Interesting, though, in the little animated movie that they put out to announce this date, Fat Pikachu made his return.
Yay!
And the internet rejoiced.
How appropriate. It's gotta bulk up for hibernating, during the wintertime.
I'm going to say something here.
At McDonald's.
I am a Fat Pikachu fan. I like the fat version better than the regular version.
For people who don't remember what we're talking about, that was his design in Gen 1. He was chubby. And then they slimmed him down for the anime, and then eventually slimmed him down for future games.
Ash made him work out. That's what it was.
He's been on
that fight with all those Spearow in the first few episodes.
Yeah.
The thing is that he's been on the Pozempic diet for the last few years, last few decades, and so this is Pozempic Rebound.
Okay.
It's
Makes sense.
Pokemon Ozempic. If you're
Yes.
wondering what that is, it's Ozempic you give Pokemon. Snorlax has never had any.
Darth Platypus says it's now Dad Bod Pikachu.
That's why I like him. Because Pikachu's out there, he's just like, yeah, I'm eating what I want. I don't care. What are you gonna do? I'm 30 years
Pikachu
old. What
had
are you gonna,
kids.
you
Pikachu
gonna
had
tell me
kids.
what to do? I gotta eat when I can, man. I'm raising, my little Pika babies.
Yes.
Anyway, because like a good dad, if Pikachu's out there and his kids aren't eating their food, like y'all push that on down here. That's not going to waste. Come on, bring it right here. I'll finish it for you. That's where dad bods come from.
Yep.
In other gaming news, also I meant to mention this in this whole announcement too. Persona is also celebrating its 30th anniversary in 2026, and we're going to actually have more info about that as of next week. And so we'll be talking about that on next week's show.
Yes.
Let's talk about some releases and updates before we move on to our Let's Discuss section. Right around the corner, guys, Animal Crossing New Horizons, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition and the 3.0 update are out in 2 weeks. That's January 15th. Also this month, Final Fantasy VII Remake INTERGRADE is out on January 22nd, and Cult of the Lamb Woolhaven DLC is out the same day. And then Dispatch will also be out on Switch and Switch 2 January 29th. My son has raved about this game. I cannot wait to see what it's all about. I have no clue. He's played it. He's played it all on Steam, and all I've heard is dispatch, the new episode, blah 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 blah. And so I'm looking forward to it. Apparently, it's a game that's like in the vein of the old Walking Dead Telltale games. I think some of the former Telltale employees made this.
I've heard people disparagingly says it's more like watching a TV show with you making some decisions as opposed to a game, which is fine if that's what the developers want to do. Let them do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
And it's like an hour-ish per chapter. There was 5 chapters, so this could be done in a weekend pretty easily.
Yep. Sounds exactly like The Walking Dead. Wolf Among Us. There was a Wolf Among Us. There was a Batman one.
I never got far in the Batman one. I don't know why. I think I just played the first chapter and that was it.
So also February 5th, or let's get into February. Dragon Quest VII Reimagine's out on the 5th. Mario Tennis Forever is February 12th. And then Resident Evil, tons of Resident Evil at the end of the month on February 27th with the Generation Pack and Requiem. Screamer, which has not yet been announced for Switch, but it may be coming March 26th. Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection on March 27th. 007 First Light for Switch 2 has been delayed to May 27th. And then we've still got South of Midnight, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, and Mina the Hollower hanging out somewhere out there. Mina the Hollower says 2030.
If you look at the Nintendo website, that's the ETA.
Yeah, no wonder Yacht Club says if it doesn't succeed that they're going to go under. Like, man, 5 more years of development. It's almost there, guys. So always be sure to check out our YouTube channel for first looks and some latest releases and updates and things like that, including a game that I got to do a video for, literally called A Game About Digging a Hole, that made people ask if I was okay. And so go over there to our YouTube channel and check that out.
Good old John checking in on you.
That's our news. Let's discuss. So it's first of the year, and as you know, it's the first of the year. We partake in 2 activities here at the Nintendo Dads podcast. The first of which is our making our list of top 10 games of 2025. Those are our lists as hosts, but we also include your lists as listeners and fans and friends of the show. And so previously, the deadline had already expired for you to get yours in, but because of sickness and because Justin can't be here with us this week, we are pushing back a week. And so next episode 561, we will be talking about our top 10 games of 2025. And so you have a lot of time, not a lot of time, you still have a little bit of time to get your list in. How do you do that? You can email it to nintendodads@gmail.com, or you can put it in the Discord if you're a Patreon supporter, friend of the show. You can hit us up on social media, send us a DM with your top 10, and know that we also include honorable mentions. And I know the question will be asked, does it have to be a Nintendo game? No, it doesn't, as evidenced by the fact that my number one game for last year was Astrobot. And so you don't have to do that. All right. So Zablanc asked us a question. He said, your best of 2025 lists are great and all, but what's the 2025 game you didn't play that you lament the most? And so should we include that as well? The 2025 release we just didn't get to, but we wanted to?
We can bring it up next week.
Sure.
We
Yeah,
can do that.
think about that question. Give you some
I
time. to
know
think
what
about
my
you missed.
answer is right
I think
now.
I know what mine is too.
Yeah, I know what I was going to say, and then they announced it for Switch. So
Yeah.
I'll just keep playing it this year.
Right. So since that is postponed till next week, that takes us out of our Let's Discuss segment. Let's go to what we've been playing. All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll do mine.
Okay.
Like I said, I was other than when my cat disappeared, it kind of threw a wrench into me trying to catch up on some games that I wanted to kind of play and hopefully beat before we started having this discussion. So I do have a little time now to finish it now, I guess. But I did jump into those games once we did find the cat and get it home. I was able to go back to my regular normal sleep pattern and be able to not worry about things and play games. And so I jumped back into Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I'm about probably 2/3 of the way through. If I compare it to everybody else's time into the game. So I just got the third key. So I got 2 more keys to go. And one of the things that I've been enjoying about the fact that I haven't gotten it, I didn't beat it over the weekend, like some people were able to. And Marty, I understand why you had to do that for yourself. For me, Metroid Prime games, any Metroid game actually, any Metroid game. If we look at the amount of time I play in those games, my hours are always more than most. Because I spend so much time exploring every nook and cranny. And Metroid Prime is no different. And it is an exploration game first, the way Metroid Prime comes for me. I'm exploring, I'm learning about things, scanning everything, making sure I didn't miss anything. Sometimes I probably do it too much to where I don't need to, and that's probably why it's taken me so long to beat it as well. But I'm enjoying the aspect of it is an exploration adventure game with action in between some of the things there. And so far, music's phenomenal. I'm enjoying the music in the game. The visuals are just, especially being able to play it. I played it, I think, in all different ways. You can play Metroid Prime 4 on a 4K handheld, all that kind of stuff. And I've been enjoying it all those ways. And even on my computer screen, which is only 1080p, but being able to do 1080p 120 frames per second on my computer screen, the other day I was playing it and my wife came in and I was so immersed. She started laughing because I was just like so into it. My headphones on, playing it and deep into just feeling like I was Samus, just like I did when I was playing it on GameCube or the Wii in the trilogy. So it was just like felt so immersive to me, and that's what I really love about the Metroid Prime games. And it's really bringing it back to where the original trilogy was, and I think that might be where its problem is that for a lot of people is that it's going back to the way it originally was built and made. And obviously, we've been reading more about them trying to cram Breath of the Wild type aspects of the game into it, open world aspects into the game, which has kind of been a downside for some people. But again, I've been finding it, just a fantastic game that they have brought into 18 years later for new people, new generation of people to play. There's some new things sprinkled in for those of us who played it 18 years ago. Um, and I find it really well. Is it perfect? No, it's not. And I'm excited that they were able to jump into this version of the game, bring us Prime 4, and hopefully build off of Prime 4 for a Prime 5 that will hopefully be that much better, if not a game of the year type material once they figured things out. So that's where maybe I'm giving it benefit of doubt as maybe others aren't. But I would say that first going into it, it's an exploration game. You do have to do a lot of scanning. But you can also it's open enough to where you have the ability to just go in guns blazing, to where it's like, screw this, I don't need to scan everything for the most part. Some things you have to, but just go in and guns blazing, just be the bounty hunter Samus probably should be, right? Without the exploration type stuff. But sorry, I probably ranted on more than I should have there, but it's been something I've been wanting to talk about in regards to Metroid Prime 4, about everything I've been reading about from everybody else. Just, it
No, so
definitely, they were trying to shoehorn in a more modern take on the Prime series, I think, and that's probably where a lot of people are
yeah,
struggling with it. But at the same time, I think people need to understand that it's kind of like resetting, getting everybody at a base level on a Prime
yeah.
series.
So I want to kind of jump in here and speak to this because you're right. I did pick this up day one, and I played it over that next week and beat it about 5, 6, 7 days later. I can't exactly remember, but it was right before. So yeah, it came out on Thursday the 4th, right? Metroid 4's day. And then I beat it, I think, the following Saturday. And I was blessed to be able to like put in. I had some time where I had some things going on that I could sit and play for like. One day I sat and played for like 8 hours, and I got a lot accomplished there.
That's a big chunk, yeah.
It is a big chunk of that game because I mean I
Yeah.
think I
It's
finished
like
with
half the
14
game.
hours and something completion. So it was that day was the majority of the game that I played.
Yeah.
And as usual, what I found is that a lot of the problems that everybody were pointing out was making mountains out of molehills like they do for every big Nintendo release in the Switch 2 era. They did it for Mario Kart World. They did it for Pokemon ZA. They did it for Donkey Kong Bonanza. They did it for this. Um, it was different. I'll give it that. But as we've been learning in some of the interviews that have come out afterwards, post release, that they did have to take like part of a game that was already there and kind of shape it, and it was like we had to pick up somebody's vision and we had to rehab it, and then we had to do what we did. And so that may be why it felt a little disjointed, but I really enjoyed my time with it. On that note, I would probably give it a solid 7 to a 7.5 because while it was fun and it was great, it wasn't anything really mind blowing. Uh, I will agree with Tim. The graphics and the sound were incredible. I mean, it was a step up. It really was. I mean, of course it was from the Wii era, right? It should be. But they did a really good job of pretty much everything controls wise, visuals, sound. I didn't even really mind the companions or the chatter. I think that it was good. Um, they weren't game breaking as some people called it. Where the game really struggled for me was the last, like the end game, and I'll talk about that when we're ready to. To me, it was the weakest part of the game. It should have been the strongest. Um, but I won't say
Especially if
anything
you
about it
probably
out of
compare it to Metroid Dread, how that ended.
Oh,
Probably, right?
right. Metroid Dread's whole flow was incredibly well
Yeah.
paced and building to an awesome ending.
Mhm.
This Sorry. This was kind of like, it dwindled.
Yeah.
The final fight was fun, but I have
Okay.
questions. So
Can't wait to
that's
talk
all.
about it with you.
Yeah. What else you been playing, Tim?
Like I said, I was able to jump back into some games that I had been playing through the year. Got back to Pokemon Legends ZA and actually rolled credits on that finally. Um, which again, Pokemon Legends, I think may not have been as great of a story for me, at least in my opinion. I really liked Arceus's story. It was a fantastic story. That's what kept me going in the game.
It's had the better
Whereas,
story. I agree with that.
yeah, ZA does not have that level of a story. It was it was okay Pokemon story, right? It was your basic Pokemon story. It seemed like, uh, but for me, what kept me going was the mechanics, the play style. I really enjoyed I had a lot of fun playing this version of Pokemon in this world. So, um, great game, okay story, um, and visuals were okay too towards the end. It looked like I was watching a cartoon in some spots, but then you could kind of see it was still kind of like rough on some edges, but it was overall I had a lot of fun with the game. So I'm happy with what I played there, and um Arceus is still my favorite Legends game and probably still my favorite Pokemon game.
I,
uh
I I I agree on both of those. Now, did you do what I did and completely forget about the pebble until it was brought up again?
uh y- to be honest, yes. I was,
Okay.
yeah. Because it was like I remember seeing the pebble in my pocket and was like, "Can I it's there. It must be important." And I was like, "Oh, it must be coming up somewhere along the line later." And then yeah, I forgot about it. Because I was going through my inventory at some point, like seeing what I could sell to try to get enough money to buy something. I can't remember what it was. It's like, why can't I sell this? Must be for some important thing later. Uh,
And it
I think it was
was.
because I was trying to get a
Well,
stone
I was going to say
for
you
somebody.
and your fashion. Because I
That's
literally didn't care about the
I didn't
fashion.
have any money because of the fashion. Yes, that's why I had to get the money
Yeah,
in order to
I
go
think
buy
I
the
ended the game
stone
with
I
like
needed.
150,000.
There you go. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with the fashion in the game too. So that
So
was fun for
like
me.
150 bucks or 1,500 bucks.
Yeah. The other game I've been playing is, well, before I mention that, been playing more Animal Crossing New Horizons. Um, Mainly just jumping in, kind of walking around, but the main thing that we did for our New Year's Eve was we actually jumped into New Horizons to have that going as the countdown for our TV instead of the Times Square. So I jumped in there, and my wife actually jumped on my island, and we were hanging out for the countdown there on the island, even though we're sitting right next to each other. It was still fun. Both our kids were gone. So, well, actually, my daughter was home, but she was hanging out with her friend and online, and they were counting it down. So it was just me and my wife and my mom. We were just sitting there watching. Actually, no, my mom was in bed, so it was just me and Nora. But yeah, we used New Horizons for the countdown, which was a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to the update there as well. And then the other game I've been playing, and I'm actually in the middle of right now before we started the show, is Demonschool. It's a game again I've been playing. It's a RPG tactics game with a Persona feel, um, and has a lot of that whole relationship building, which affects the different types of endings you can get depending on the relationships you build throughout the game. So there's multiple endings. Um, and right now I'm just going through my first run of trying to get that one ending, and I don't know if I have to play through the whole game to get different endings or if I have a certain point where I can jump off at. I don't know, but it's a pretty decent sized game where I think if you want to be a completionist, it's going to be like 30 hours to complete. Or if you just complete the first, main story, I think it's about 18 hours to complete. I'm getting there right now. I'm running into a boss that's giving me a little trouble, so One of the things I really enjoy about Demonschool, the tactics part, is it really feels like a chess game in a way to me, where you're trying to get across the board and take, the king, if you will. In this case, in the boss fights, there you're trying to beat that boss. In normal fights, it's just trying to get the goal is to get a grade because you're going to demon school, and you're trying to beat the board in a number of turns. So you sometimes you get 6 turns to beat the board or beat a certain number of demons on that board. So you might have to beat 20 demons in 6 turns. So you got to make your moves and tactics moves and plan your moves. That's one of the things I like about it too is you can plan them, see how it plays out or how it looks like it'll play out, and then you commit to it. And so when you're planning, you can actually rewind and change your moves and stuff like that. But once you commit, then you're set unless you reset the whole level that you're fighting. But again, I'm having a lot of fun with Demon School and trying to beat that one as well. So lots of fun with the holidays being off and trying to catch up on some of the gaming. So I got a few more days left before I go back to work on Monday.
Cool. Jesse, we'll go to you. What you been playing?
All right. So I actually have quite a longer list than I normally come up with. So let's start with I played the Final Fantasy VII Remake INTERGRADE demo the other day. I did it on my TV. I think my TV is just darker than it's supposed to be because of some areas I couldn't see anything. I tried taking a screenshot and I posted it and I'm like, well, it looks better in the image than it did on my TV. So that's why I think it's the TV issue. But I got to the demo's boss and I had no idea what I was doing. And because I'm not a fan of the real time combat. I'm surprised I survived through Xenoblade 3 last year, but because it's kind of like that similar type of concept for fighting here, and didn't win. Didn't go back to try it again. I'm like, this game isn't for me. I just left it at that. So when this game comes out, I am not going to buy it. But if you do choose to buy it, there is a pre-release bundle that costs the same as what the normal retail price is. I think it's good through the end of this month. But it basically gives you the PS1 build for free. You're on mute, Tim.
Are you gonna get the physical to get the MTG pack that comes with the game?
No, I'm not buying this game at all.
Okay.
But even if I did, probably not. Just because I don't even know where those magic cards I bought ended up. They're still in a box somewhere in this house.
They're in a box somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I tried launching one of the games. So 2 weeks ago, we talked about No Gravity Games did their annual game giveaway. And so there was a little bit of a community talking about that and collecting the games. One of the games was One True Hero, which kind of, just based on the key art, looked like it might be a Zelda clone. And the hero has a green tunic, has a different type of hat, kind of more like the Dirk the Daring hat from Dragon's Lair, if you know that.
Yep.
I didn't get far before I gave this game up.
Oh no.
It controls like if Donkey Kong 64 had Sands of Time components to the platforming.
Really?
And then worse than you think.
Sounds like it. All right.
Yeah, because they had a lot of crawling through, jumping walls, and wall jumping stuff like Sands of Time did, Prince of Persia. But they had B to climb and A to drop, and I always wanted to mentally stop them, and I died multiple times just because I hit I wanted to climb, so I hit A and ended up dropping instead. So like,
I don't know
and
how do designers do that? It's
I
like
don't know. And a lot of things
if you,
that you think you'd want to push A to do, like talk to people, like open
yeah,
doors. No, that's the R button.
it's like they're trying to be creative. Like, okay, we don't want to be samey here, so let's see if we can change up the controls a little bit. But it's like,
Yeah. Zell did a few things. Like if you were
yeah,
gripping onto and you wanted to grip to target something across the gap, you had to push, hold ZR, and then hit B to kick to get to the other side. So yeah, it. And when he did run, when he does run straight, he runs really slow and bulky and loud. I think the last time I said that was Mighty number 9, if you remember that.
yeah,
Uh, chunk, 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 chunk. Which is why I said this reminds me of Donkey Kong 64.
all right,
And so yeah, it did have a cute little joke, and I posted a clip on Discord where you met
I
one of
saw
the
that.
town's guards, and it says, "Oh look, calamity happens, and you always have to some guy in a green shirt shows up. How original!" So it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah.
Uh, it knows what it is, and it isn't great.
Aw, that's too bad.
Okay, so then earlier, I think it was just before Christmas, I did finish Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake. I tried doing the post game, and the post at the end of the post game dungeon, you fight Xiao Lan again, which is the same dragon you fought in the DQ3 Remake post game. And it's one of those beat me in a certain amount of turns, and I'll give you a wish. And if you can't, too bad. Try again. Get beefier, and then come back. Jesse,
Go
you must run
grind.
like I do, loud and bulky. Yes. Um, anyway, so I didn't think I was going to beat uh, Shenlong. Somehow I did. It took 45 minutes and 71 turns. So obviously I didn't get the wish. Though I did do it in normal. I never had to go. Never had to drop down to easy.
Okay.
Um, I did everything in normal. So I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not gonna grind this. But after I was done with that, I'm like, I'm in the mood to play through 3 again. So, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake. Uh, Found that cartridge in my boxes, put it in, and started playing through that again. And I found a video. I talked about it last week. I thought it was from Dukio 3. It's not. I don't remember who it is from. I'm sorry. But they pretty much walked through his recommendation for the best possible team based on, classes,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
level up to this point to learn this spell, then class
Yeah.
change to this, and then class change to this, and you do this. Some what one character only has 3 class changes, but one character actually has 6 because it goes to a gadabout, which you have to live through that for 20 levels before you can turn it into a sage, and then throughout the game you get an item that lets you do a sage immediately. And while I did have an extra book because I had DLC, I chose not to use it. So at the end game, I had 2 characters that had the knowledge of sages, and then the hero doesn't class change. Uh, it took me like an hour to get all the personalities set up the way I wanted to. But once I got them all set up, because the personalities determines your stat increases. So like I wanted my tank to have the high agility, so it would always make the first move, and high resilience to have the high hit points and all and whatnot, and the 2 casters to have high wisdom to get more magic points and do more damage and heal more damage and whatnot. So, but ultimately, all that extra hour of work did pay off. I ended up I beating the end game in like 5 hours less than I did through my first run, 5 levels less than my first run, and I was pretty much completely dominated the fight. As opposed to I had to drop this on easy and just let this wimp out. So again, I did everything on normal. I didn't have to drop down to easy at all. So,
Because you knew what you were doing this time around.
well, no, because I had the characters beefy. They had the spells they had the spells that had the abilities that had the stats. Where I didn't.
Okay.
The way I did it the first time is everyone had one class. I leveled them up as high as possible to get as much to get everything I can out of that class, which was like level 45 to 55, depending on the class. Then class shifted them once to their final class, got them to high 30s, low 40s, where that's not the right way to do it.
See, like I said, you knew what you were doing this time around.
Well,
So that's why
it was more I was following the guide, which encouraged
Gotcha.
me to do more class changes faster to get different
Okay.
abilities more spread out.
Gotcha.
So I fought Shenlong again in that post game. Again, still on normal. I didn't drop it to easy yet. Beat him in 31 turns, which was enough to get the wish.
Oh, nice.
So when it gives you the option of wishes to choose from, they give you 5 options, but there's room for a 6th. There's a blank line. So I did cheat and research what everything did. And this is a year-old game by now, so I'm okay with spoiling this. That 6th option that's empty, and when you choose it, Zenlon's like, "How do you even know about that?" But it opens up the final post-game dungeon, which is
Okay.
really pain in the butt.
All right.
There's 5 trials, some of which is easy. Did you save 100 monsters? I played through with checklists of mini medals and friendly monster saves with me, so I was able to make sure I was all caught up. I 100% of that as much as I could, so that was an easy pass. One of them was, do you have the full Erdrick gear? It isn't called Erdrick gear yet because you're Erdrick and you haven't passed it on yet. But
Okay.
I had that, so that was an easy pass. The third one was, you must have a boomerang or claw equipped. Otherwise, you do 10% damage and you take 1,000% damage of normal.
Ouch.
Which means my sage was garbage because it can't equip that.
Right.
And having nothing equipped doesn't count. So I'm like, if I ever go back to this, so partway through the game, you have to have make a merchant and then drop it off at a town and makes a new town, kind of like Terry Town from Zelda. And then at the end of the game, that merchant becomes a usable character to you again when she's done with the town. He or she. I had a team of all females just because I could. I leveled up the merchant, turned that into, I think, a martial artist. So I have like another melee attack dealer. So if we get around to monster wrangler, and then once I get that up high enough, then I'll turn it into a martial artist. So once I get that grinding up, then I'll give it a try. But then there's a fourth trial, which is similar to the third one, but you have to have different types of things equipped. And like this thing, based on the reading I did on Reddit and GameFAQs, the dungeon is difficult for people in their 90s, and I was mid 50s. So, but it's also a good place to grind your levels. By the end of everything, I probably would be close to 90. I don't know. Depends on how many liquid metal slimes I take out.
Yeah.
Right, so I decided this is a future Jesse problem. But I wasn't ready to put away Dragon Quest. So I go, let's play Dragon Quest Builders. Because I played Builders 2 twice. Once on the Switch when that first came out, and then once on the PlayStation. I no longer have PS Plus, and I don't even think that's available there anymore. So I had to play it on the Switch again. So I tried. So I went to play the first game because I only played through that once.
Yeah.
I got about an hour in, and it soft lock crash. So and I didn't save it at all in that. Very. I think I'll no. It was probably about closer to 2 hours in, but I lost like an hour of progress. So restarted it. This time I saved before I did the thing that made it crash. So and it crashed again. So I'm
Okay.
thinking, you know what? I wonder if this is one of those 0.1% of games that aren't Switch 2 compatible.
Mm-hmm.
I looked, and it is one of those 0.1% games that are not Switch 2 compatible. So
Oh
I
man.
dusted off my Switch 1, and I got that attached to my TV, and playing. So I started playing through that. I remember liking 2 more than 1, and I'm realizing why. 2 had a lot more quality of life improvements that 1 doesn't have. Uh,
Okay.
but and then there's basically 4 chapters to the game. Each chapter you start down to nothing. You still remember the recipes, but you don't necessarily have the same components to make the recipes. So you have to find new recipes to make it with new components. So, and I enjoy the end chapter game more than the early chapter game. So when I started chapter 2, I died 15 times probably in that first 2 hours before I was able to actually
Wow.
get because this game beats in your head. You are not a hero. You do not get stronger by beating enemies. The only way you can get stronger is getting better equipment, better swords, better shields, and whatnot. And some seeds of life will increase your hit points. But it's not like the hero of any other Dragon Quest game where you get stronger just by beating stuff up.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So I'm currently at the chapter 2 boss, and I have to make some. I got basically it's a flying monster. I had to create some ballistas. Where I place them doesn't reach it, so I've got to build more towers that are higher, so I can climb up and hit 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 the condor with the ballistas. So that I might be done here. I might keep going. I haven't decided yet
Okay.
Cool.
because you know
I'm like I'm like Jesse. I've actually have quite a bit of stuff that I've been playing because you haven't heard from me in like 3 weeks.
right.
So um I've been playing Fortnite. The new season is okay. I don't really like the way that they've redesigned some things in the UI, especially the battle pass. Not really a big fan. And hiding half of it behind a time lock so that people can't, you know, play as fast as they want to. I think that's kind of weird. Um, I did pick up Marvel Cosmic Invasion at the beginning of the month, and have really been enjoying that. The combat just has not grabbed me as much as like Shredder's Revenge did. It feels a little slower. It feels a little more difficult as well. Like they really, really, really want you to rely on those on the like the buddy moves and stuff
Yeah.
where you call in your partner. And so I think it's okay. But I think it would be better if you played with multiple people. And I found it's a little difficult for a single player. So I don't really know. I haven't got to spend that much time with it. I did play it on the plane
That's what Megadad
on the
said
way out
about
there.
that game because uh, Pipecaster was trying it solo and wasn't digging it, but Adam was playing it with this whole family, 4 players. 8
Yeah.
characters were flying around at once and was
Oh yeah.
loving it.
I think that's really where its strength is. And so if you have people to play with, great. If not, then you might want to wait for a price drop just in case it's not for you. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate demo. I can't say really anything other that Jesse didn't say. Other than I'll probably buy this again on Switch 2 because I'll probably finish the game there. It runs remarkably well on Switch 2. Looks incredible.
Oh, I did make a
I thought
comment
that,
when I was playing it, and I took a screenshot and posted it, saying I've been playing pixel art games and HD2 games for so long, I forgot what 4K looked like.
yeah.
That game looks
I will say
beautiful.
that there was a little bit of noticeable frame rate issues with it, but it's a Final Fantasy VII remake on a handheld. Come on.
Exactly.
Finished Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. My final completion was like 84% items, 73 scans, or maybe that was the other way around. I don't know. Unless there's DLC, I probably won't be going back to it. It's kind of a one and done. I also picked up an old game for PS4 called Transformers Devastation. That is a cell shaded Transformers combat game in the vein of Bayonetta from Platinum. It does have like bullet time events, and it has the original voice cast coming back to reprise their roles, which is really cool. I mean, the ones that are alive. And so it feels like you're playing an episode of the G1 cartoon. So I really have enjoyed that. And then I've got a video up on our channel about a game about digging a hole, which is a weird grammatical structure for a sentence that just came out of my mouth. A video about a game about digging a hole. Uh, that's literally the title, a game about digging a hole, and that's what you do. You start the game. There's a red X painted in the grass in your backyard because you bought this house that says it comes with treasure. You just have to dig it up. And so you spend as much time or as little time as you want digging a hole in your backyard. But if there's a catch, and that is if you ever run out of battery power for your battery powered shovel you're using, it explodes and you die.
Wow.
All right.
So
That's
yeah,
not recall worthy at all.
right. So you basically you dig up various things and you sell them on your computer in the garage, and that allows you to buy upgrades, which allow you to dig faster or get a jetpack to help you get out of the hole that you're digging for yourself. And there's lanterns and things that you can do. I'm sure there's other surprises. I just haven't got too far down in the earth yet. I did find a sack of money, and that was like, immediately got $26 out of that. So that was pretty cool. It's very,
And
very zen. It's very much in the vein of Power Wash Simulator. So if you're into that, just know that it does not, it like Power Wash Simulator is War and Peace story wise compared to this. It has no story other than you're digging a hole in your backyard. And then the last game or games
wait,
I want to talk
question.
about. Yeah.
Good question on that. In the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything. In the trailer, at the end of the trailer, there's darkness and something growling in the hole. Did you
Yeah.
encounter anything like that yet?
No, but you do have a health bar.
Okay.
So I'm sure that that's coming. That's why I said I said and other surprises.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
All right.
It's going to be a game about digging a hole and poking horrible things in the dark with your spade until they
Yes.
die. I don't know. I haven't encountered any other living or non-living creature
Okay.
yet. In the last three games I've been playing Mega Man 1 through 3 Revamped, which are patches for the original three NES games that in some cases dramatically change the game. Mega Man 1 is the one that gets the most love. I mean, there's refigured stages and um, enemy placement and all kinds of different things. And that's what kind of got the ball rolling. I was like, man, I want to play that because I mean, like Cutman stage looks completely different visually. Um, so that's the bones of the game. You have to have a patcher for it. From there, I saw that there was a 2 and a 3, and so I decided to try those two. Not very many additions or takeaways to 2. I mean, how do you fix perfection? And then 3,
You would know.
uh, 3 has some different varying elements too, and one of the things that they sought to do with the revamp was balance the game out, make it a little more not as hard. A lot of people regard Mega Man 3 as one of the harder ones because of the length of it.
Okay.
And so it deals with some of those issues. It deals with some item balance issues and different things like that. And so I thoroughly enjoyed those. And so if you're a Mega Man fan, I highly recommend you play these. Save states help in a big way in getting through these games. And yes, the the electric wave weapon trick still works on Mega Man 1, just not as well. Um, because I did have to use it because Mega Man 1 is
I
tough.
remember. I think I beat Yellow Devil once legitimately,
The
but I normally
Wi-
do it the pause trick to beat him.
yeah, the Wily Castle boss fights are murder without that trick. The first two, because you do the doppelganger fight in stage 2 and you do Yellow Devil in 1. And so there's been like I said, some rebalancing of the way the item energy works. And I would say the most notable one is you can't just spam Metal Blade all the way through Mega Man 2 anymore. If you play the revamped one, it takes more energy to use your Metal Blade. So it kind of tempers that one. But then there's other cases where there's other weapons that kind of bumps up. So it all evens out.
So
So it's
a
not,
good rebalance.
yeah, it's not revamped to make it easier. It's revamped to make it more a smooth experience across the board. And of course, Mega Man 1 needed the most help. So the only thing I really would have loved for them to do would have been to include the two Robot Masters that were in Mega Man Powered Up, Time Man and Oil Man. It was a PSP only release, but those two Robot Masters are considered canon, and since they're actually putting them, they were able to like refigure stages and create user interface or create visual elements and reuse them. I wish they'd have went the extra mile and done those two, but who knows? I
Maybe
thoroughly
they'll have
enjoyed
a
my time
revamp of the
over Christmas
revamp.
break. Yeah, Mega Man 1 revamp
There
is
you
probably out there. All right, guys. Well, that's what we've been
Revamp.
playing, and we're gonna wind the show up right here. We do want to make a note here at the end of the show as we go into 2026 about a change to our community spotlight moving forward, and that is that we are not going to we love you guys, and we want you to hear this first and foremost is that our listeners, we love you so much, and we love the level of interaction that we have from you. On that note, sometimes that interaction is either feast or famine with questions. All right. So some weeks we'll get like 10 questions. And then other weeks, like this week, we got one question, right? Or two. And so what we're going to do moving forward is we're going to let you know when we can do questions. And when they're appropriate, we're going to slot those in throughout the show just so that we are cutting some of the time off the show overall and making things run a little bit smoother. All right. So, what I don't want you to hear, or what we don't want you to hear from this, is Nintendo dads don't want questions anymore. Nintendo dads don't care about their community. Nintendo dads don't want to interact with us. That's not what we said at all. What I said was we're moving more in the vein of like Nintendo voice chat and other podcasts that have specific question based episodes. All right. So, I particularly love the questions we get asked about things that are non-Nintendo related stuff, like, "Hey, what's your favorite holiday candy or whatever?" Still send those in. Just know we're going to get to them, and it may not be we're going to screen all of them, we're going to read all of them, but just because we don't do it the very next week doesn't mean we didn't see it. It doesn't mean we don't care about your question. It just maybe means that hey, there was a lot of news this week, or there was a lot of like next week, there's going to be a lot of let's discuss when we talk about our top 10 list, right? And so we want to make room for that to be more robust and not skimp on those things because we know people do listen to us for that as well. But we also know that there's a huge section of our community out there that enjoys interacting with us via questions. And, if you can think of a way to make that a little bit better or you have a suggestion for that, send it to us at nintendodads@gmail.com or comment on our Patreon. Send us a message there. Send us a DM on our social media. We'd be glad to entertain your suggestions. And just know that we love you and we're thankful for the level of interaction that we have with our community. So, closing out the show, this has been episode 560 of Nintendo Dads. We want to thank you for hanging with us. A huge thanks to our Patreon producers, Jacqueline Amira, Dave Ernsberger, and an anonymous Patreon producer, as well as 100 plus other friends of the show. Thank you guys for making 2025 possible, years past possible as well, and what you're going to help us do in 2026. Stay tuned. It's going to be a great year. Also, huge shout out to our Twitch subscribers, Twitch followers, YouTube subscribers. You guys are awesome, and we're so thankful for you. If you like, follow, subscribe to the show, and you've not shared it with somebody, would you do that? Sharing is caring. Also, if you're out there and you listen to us and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We would love to have you on board the team wherever we're at on social media. Mainly what we want to say is thank you. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you guys. You head over to nintendodads.org for lots of stuff like our recommended podcasts, our family of podcasts, YouTube videos, tweets, social media, Patreon, Extra Life pages, and of course, Nintendo Dads merch. And don't forget to check out our sponsor, manscaped.com, where you can get 20% off your order by using the code NINDADS. That's NINDADS. Email us at nintendodads@gmail.com or call in and leave a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. Thanks to OC Remix for the music we use throughout the show. And reminder, wherever you get this podcast in your audio device, your podcatcher of choice, please rate us, review us, leave some comments there. It helps people find the show, pushes us up the charts. It just makes things better in general. Guys, 2026 is going to be incredible. I just know it. I can't wait to see what Nintendo's going to do this year. So for me, for Justin, for Tim, and Jesse, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.